Glass McCasker versus Kelly in the contest. Ma got the hand pass free. Here is Carl. Goes to Cripps. Taking ground. Motlop somehow out the back. Bounce through all sets of hands. Kemp to Crocker, who gives the Blues the lead in the elimination final.
The bounce of the footy worked for him, and you just can't allow players goal side, in particular dangerous forwards like Crocker,
when
that much space.
Yeah, and when that ball's spinning on the ground in the forward 50.
Good intent there from Liam McMahon. It's
heavy work for the home side so far. Carl gets it through the ball.
Isuzu MUX replay. Setterfield, that makeshift ruck combination Dan O'Keefe spoke about, took it out of the ruck, and then just crafty forward work, skittled them all, Ned Carl, and he hits the scoreboard. Contested possession.
To the scoreboard. Kemp, Ma, just pushing it forward. Go and pick up his own footy in the end, Xavier Ma, and kick a third.
That was brilliant. Ma, he was the man that handballed it out into some space and then goes over, picks the ball up.
So Durden off the line, finding Crocker in space. Max Steddon overcommitted. Crocker's kick low. Carl feeding off. Hanley for a Blues fourth. Oh, yeah!
They're doing it everywhere at the moment. The Blues, the Isuzu MUX replay will show a brilliant one-on-one win by Durden, which set up the offensive movement, and they just went quickly. They go quickly.
Look at the space Crocker's afforded.
Expose them on turnover. This ground ball by Ned Carl is elite. And David Hanley, the boy from Geelong West, goes whack, and it's one-way traffic here at the moment. The flood's on, isn't it? Collingwood have put numbers back.
Yeah, there's a black and white striped bus. Somehow, that bus is parked in the wrong parking spot for his second and the Blues fifth. They are irresistible right now. A look at the setup, and Paddy Dow, as you mentioned, Brownie, had a pair of options there. It was either David Hanley or B, C, D and E as options, and on the Isuzu MUX replay, all the fears, all the nightmares of that guys, Quay and Begg, two young developing types in the ruck. Carroll run off the back of the square in the form of Stocker for the Blues, and they just slip back in to the mode that saw them dominate the opening 30 minutes. Onto the chest of Kemp, who's been their primary forward target, but yet to have an impact with a major. He'll turn creator here, and somehow Ned Carl is coated in invisible ink. Ned Carl for his second. Beautiful execution. They can do no wrong. So Carl and Handley now with two apiece. This is the build-up on the Max's Tyres replay. We just heard Craig Blackmick speak to his team about being process-driven. He was very calm and methodical. Carlton are the only team that have touched the ball in the quarter so far.
It hasn't registered. Quay, really nice tap down to Dow.
Regathers, punches it in ball, but it hangs for Brown, and Ned Carl takes full advantage. He turns into his creative self and puts it onto the chest.
Oh, they're out here.
And the Blues have got three goal side. Glass McCasker, Crocker, Handley. Carl trying to pick his option. Well done, Crocker. He was the man to spend time on the Pies AFL list with a lot of footy at VFL level in that time. He's going to enjoy sticking it to the old mob. He's got himself two.
I think he was getting some friendly advice to get a shot on goal.
Sincotta with the launch. Glass McCasker just monstered his fellow West Australian in Rusco. Crocker just given a little bit of time and space there by Carl. Takes off. Motlop again finds some room. And within range.
Lets your defenders structure up properly late in a quarter. If you can go back and slot it, just gives you a bit more breathing space.
Dad Daniel got great benefit playing in a VFL finals with the Murray Kangaroos some 21 years ago in his first year. Jesse Motlop on the big stage, up to the task. Just beautiful late winter sunshine, and Setterfield, that's gone the required distance. And McRae hates his decision to try and...
Too late.
So Will Setterfield, goals in round 12 and 13 in the VFL this year. Gets another steadier for the Blues. He will wait for it on the bounce. Rusco there to meet him. Hanley dealt with, finds Marr, and Carlton generate another mark inside forward 50 and get behind Collingwood's defence, and Crocker, another player to have since they kicked the first 5 of the game in the opening quarter. Crocker's got himself 3. Not based on that kick. Missed Fowler and McRae. Stocker receives. Kick deep. Kemp in space again. Surely this is his major. By hand, and Brown and Carmichael, while play goes on, are yelling at each other. Jetta goes the body now because Neville Jetta is down again in pretty much the same spot where that happened. Meanwhile, Tom North, number 51, from 51, having a whale of a time.
Alaska did, and that goal from North, well, that sent them north, up to Brisbane. That's who they'll be playing in a semi-final.
You're riding off.
Gets moving from the back of the square, and Carl out the back again of the Pies. This time it's Madgen forced into defence.
Calm ball movement here. They should be able to find one.
Crocker lurking off the line into the hands of Kemp.
1 metre out to make sure, an absolute certainty of it, because he hasn't been overly accurate today.
Does he kick it, Browning?
No.
Well, it was never missing then. It was never missing.
This is Kemp. A great kick by Carl. As I alluded to, just a separating lead. It was Glass McCasker and it was Kemp. Thanks to the thirsty Camel Bottle Shops replay. And gun, barrel straight.
Of course he was going to kick
Campbell
it.
Brown said no hope in the world. He's going back. This
Hayes, who's got both handles on him. Sincotta. Can the Blues find another here? Carl just beyond his range, but he's so calculating. And he'd finished his AFL season in good form, a luxury that he qualified to come back to play the VFL finals. A second goal for Setterfield. Play down in Aquay as Durden to Carl, to Carroll, over the head of Motlop, through the hands to Machete, who brings up the ton for the Blues.
game, so Dan O'Keefe would be able to take the message and the tape absolutely to his team and say, look, this is the way we've done it in the last 2 weeks. It'll be a different opposition next week, but the method stands up in finals. It's contest, it's ground position, and then it's 120 minutes of